Hello again and welcome to the Friday Wrap for the first one of 2014. It's January 3rd. I was going to film it outside, but it's just a little bit too cold out there. But we are going to be talking a lot about snow, but I decided to stay inside. Plus, as I mentioned last week, I ended up having some surgery actually on my ear, and I thought I'd cover up that side. I ended up covering up the bandage. In any case, it was kind of slow around the village this week. Of course, everybody was busy celebrating the New Year's and New Year's events that were around town. Many house parties. There were no actual village meetings in the village. However, the big news this week really had to do with the snow. We ended up getting probably 10 or 12 inches in various parts of the village, and it really made me more curious about just how the whole snow plowing operation works. So I was able to look up the division operations supervisor, the one who heads up all the snow plowing, Mr. John Warnemont. And as you can tell by the pictures, I was able to ride around for probably an hour and a half, and really see firsthand how things operate. I found out a number of interesting statistics, and I thought you'd be curious about. For one thing, there are 100 miles of roads in the village. It's only 7 square miles, but there's 100 miles of roads. And it's a coordinated effort because not the village isn't the only one that has responsibility for plowing around the village. You have the state, you have the county, and the village. There are a total of 9 snow plows altogether. There are 2 of the large ones that you see. They probably notice the most around town, much like the county or the state might have, as well as 7 smaller ones they call low pros. And many of these trucks will last 10 years and up, sometimes as long as even 15 years. They apparently have one brand new one that hasn't been used yet that was purchased when it's ready to go. During the rush hour, all 9 trucks will be out there, but because of vacations and breaks and hours, etc., usually there's only 7 guys on the road, and even less, of course, during the wee hours of the morning, where they only have 3 to 4. It's 100 miles of roads, but it actually takes 4 passes to clear a street. They get out in the middle first, and then do the curbs later. So actually, during when it's still snowing, they'll clear the middle of the roads, and then in the evening, just like last night, I noticed the plow coming by at a much slower speed, around probably 10 or 11 o'clock at night, getting close to the curbs. They're the guys, of course, that block our driveways. But thank goodness they do, because they need to clear the roads for the safety of everybody. Another thing that was interesting is, for example, Cook County Road, that's taken care of by County Line Road rather, is taken care of by Cook County. They also take care of Wolf Road and 79th Street and Plainfield, all east of County Line Road. Now the frontage roads are largely taken care of by the state. DuPage County has Plainfield Road west of County Line Road, as well as Madison Street north of I-55, and the village takes care of Madison Street south of I-55. So it's a very coordinated effort, and they work very closely with the police department to make sure everything's done efficiently and effectively. During this past snowstorm, there was actually one of the longest ones of recent years. Lasted, I believe, 43 hours, maybe even 48 hours total. It was a prolonged event. These guys will run not just 8 hours a day, but sometimes 12 to 14 or even 16 hours a day, depending on alertness, which of course they're all tested for, and they're all very careful about that. But it was a big week for snow this week, and I thought you'd like to know a little bit more about how it all operates. There is, however, some big news in the village. 2 village officials actually got married this past week, but not to each other. We have the village administrator who got married today, January 3rd, Steve Stricker, to his longtime girlfriend. And we heard, actually it was on Facebook, as the way the word got out, that our very own police chief, John Madden, married Tammy Shuey, who works for the Oak Brook Police Department. They got actually married in Las Vegas, and we're hoping to let everybody know in person when they got back. But I believe a 90-plus-year-old grandfather, I believe it was, put it on Facebook, and the word got out. Well, thank you again for joining us. I really appreciate you watching these videos. and getting up to date what goes on in the village. And I sincerely hope that you had a very happy and blessed new year. May be very healthy and prosperous, and one of your best years ever. Thanks again for joining me.